Hello and welcome back to Front Row Racing. I am Lord JB13 and I'm going to be doing commentary tonight in place of Paul Farfborough, who is unwell at the moment. I'm not here alone though. I'm here with Milstar. Hello Milstar.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good, thank you.
So we've made it, Milstar. F1 2017.
Yes, we have.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling good. It's a start of a new season, which is always quite interesting. Could throw up a few surprises, and we got a long way to go.
Yes, we certainly do. We're here in the World Championship side of things. It has been a week since we've done the done racing due to a few issues around the admin side, but we finally made it, and we're going to hopefully enjoy ourselves tonight. What are you expecting, Milstar?
I'm expecting an interesting race. You know, it's the first race of the season. Some of these guys might be a bit rusty, so we could see a few collisions, etc. And yeah, it should be quite interesting.
Should be. Shall we read out who's here with us?
Yep, sure. I'll go through the drivers for you. And start of new season, so there's a couple of driver shake-ups. In the Mercedes AMG, we have Overdijking and Jamie James. In the Ferrari, only one driver here today is Schmidt85. In the Red Bull, we have Koenigsegger 85 and Caribbean Crush. In the Williams, we have Mornay and GT5 King. In the Force India, we just have one driver today, which is Rama Vaj. In the Renault, we have F1 Roadrunner and Breaking Clays. And in the Toro Rosso, no one is there. In the Haas, we have Kane Ayanda and Curly Whirly. In the McLaren, we have, and finally in McLaren, we have Mr. Hamilton and Bleeding Sunrise.
Yes. Interesting grid. We have no one in the Toro Rosso, which is a big surprise because that's the best looking car this year, arguably.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one chose it, but
Yeah.
there you go.
And the Sauber is the admin pick rookie this year. I do quite like that Sauber though.
No admin today, obviously. No
pick rookie today. So do forgive me and Milstar. We are a bit rusty between the two of us, but we'll get through it. So this is a non-assist side. Everyone has to do everything themselves, and if they muck up, they muck up. Simple as. There's no traction control to save them if they oversteer, and no braking assist to save them if they overbrake into a corner. So, shall we get into it?
Yep, let's go.
Remember to hit spectate.
Oh yeah, I was obviously, I was just gonna go and race with them.
I don't think you want that. Right. So, start of a new season. I don't think you participated in any of the test sessions, did you?
No, I haven't actually. I've been a bit busy with other things.
Ooh.
I think that's a bit of a disadvantage for me because I haven't really seen how everyone else is.
More important than promo racing, apparently. See where his priorities lie. No, the test sessions were quite interesting, and I quite enjoyed racing in them. But tonight should be an entirely different ball game, as if the drivers remember, they have to obey the ETL lifts and the track limits. Hopefully, all of them are recording.
Yes, hopefully they are. See how the drivers do. Let's see how the weather is actually.
Oh yes. And being only two of us, we're unable to know what the weather is, as we don't have a man in the pits for us. So we're going to have to just go off the guessing.
Yeah, we can guess what the weather is by the clouds,
No, they said they made it more unpredictable this year, so it might not be. So it might be different.
I think it'll make it more interesting, actually, with not knowing the weather. Like at one point, all we see is just rain. Like it's just surprising.
I've had that a few times. Loving the comments in the chat right now.
What is everyone saying?
Oh, there's one that stands out to be good luck Kane. Well, if you remember during the hello Hammer Time, if you remember during the test session around here, Kane took the reserves race. Kane took a untimely end to this event. Better skip that. Oh, here we go. So Kane's readied up. This is going to be a good race, I reckon. It's going to be a nice tight race.
Yeah. I think we could predict the winner. Who's your prediction for the winner today?
You know what? It might just be our dear friend Mr. Hamilton. He was very strong in the showings and in test sessions. But yeah,
it looks like it's gonna start off dry.
Oh, from what we know, yeah.
Let's see who's the first person to hit the track in the World Championship then.
Is this your first time using the layout?
Yes, it is actually. So I've used it in like by myself, just trying it out and stuff. But I haven't used it in a commentary sense. Looks really nice though.
Yeah, it looks nice. I'm going to put my lap data on, so we can tell how quickly someone's going, but no telemetry, because I don't want. Oh, hello.
We've
I
got
think
a
I
driver
hear a
on
car
track.
powering up. Yeah, who's that?
We shall see in a second.
Oh, it looks like a McLaren. Oh, and a Renault.
I can't check. There we go. It's Mr. Hamilton, first on track.
Fast driver.
Really?
Who else is
I
on
don't
track
think so.
with us? I'm going to close my spectator menu quickly because I don't want to bother looking at that. It's Mr. Hamilton out on track first, out on the Ultra Softs. So, what alternate strategy would you go for if you were facing a very quick driver like Mr. Hamilton?
Oh, that's actually quite a good question. You can't really. I think it's a one-stop. So, with these tires lasting longer, so I don't really think there's much you could do with the strategy. Maybe you could pit a bit earlier than him. I would say, like try and undercut him, but it's going to be very difficult for anyone to get close to him. I think.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. But
And
he's
whole load
looking
of
very
drivers now
stable.
coming up.
Yes, yeah, many drivers will come out pretty early, set a banker time, because one thing we've noticed during the test sessions, I don't know if you noticed it, Millstar, they've limited the short qualifying to 12 minutes instead of 18, so it's a lot smaller. Most drivers are not happy about that.
I think that I don't know. I disagree with that. I think it worked quite well. I don't think there was a need for a change.
Yeah, I don't think 12 minutes is long enough really to get any stable running in. When you can get stable running, but you have to really know how to work the car before.
So, Mr. Hamilton into his first lap then. Do you want to go through that?
Oh no, you will. It's first lap of the season. I'll let you break yourself in.
Go on, Mr. Hamilton then. Let me quickly get on board with him.
He's already halfway through the lap by now.
Yeah, I'm here now. So he's coming up to this nice right turn, takes the apex quite nicely. Obviously, as many of you have seen, he's been competing in esports recently, so it seems like he should have a little bit of an advantage. Takes that curb really nicely, comes up to his first sector, which is a 27.0. Can he maintain that pace through the second sector? We'll see how fast he is in comparison to the other drivers.
Well,
after
he
other
will.
people
He
start
will
saying,
take
"Oh,
provisional pole as he is the first driver around.
Yes, when they set laps, we'll see then, I guess. Looked like he locked up into that corner just there, but he should be fine. Comes through this quite tricky left-right-hander. Takes it very nicely. And onto the last sector of this lap then. For the first lap this season in the World Championship, we'll see what he sets. Takes that really nicely. Coming up to the penultimate corner now. Misses the apex there by quite a bit. Ooh. He's taking a bit of a slide. That's going to cost him a little bit.
Next lap should be quicker then.
In the World Championship is a 1 minute 22.4.
Ooh, nice time. Bad time. What's your thoughts?
I'm not really sure because we have to see how the other guys are doing. So yeah.
Let's see who else is on a fast lap. Got Ram going for a build-up. Shall we sit? Yeah, let's sit on board with Ram, shall we? Breaking Clays has gone second with a 23.6. So even though Mr. Hamilton made that mistake, he's still quick.
Yeah.
Sit on board with Ram, see where he goes. He's not the third person on the lap, but he has got a Ferrari. Wow, he's got a Mercedes in front of him. So how I got those two confused.
Question: how do you check where?
Whoa! Big slide by Ram. Sorry to interrupt you there, mate.
That's fair enough. I don't see that.
Go on. What is your question?
Goes fastest.
Ah, very nice. What's your question quickly?
Yeah. How do you see if people are on like out laps or in the pits?
You should say on the side.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right. I'm up to speed now, guys. I'm up to speed now.
Oh look, there's a Ferrari. I can tell what that one is. The lone Ferrari.
Kane's gone a tenth faster than Mr. Hamilton, and with that mistake, I think this is actually going to be closer than we thought then.
Well, Mr. Hamilton is in the pits. He's probably strapping on new tyres, draining the car full of fuel, and getting ready to go for his final run. Got,
Let's see who's out on a lap. I'm on board with Schmet.
oh, so am I. See, in tune. We work
He's
together.
done the super soft tyres.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Big slide
Oh,
for Schmet. And that's
he
his lap
catches
over.
it though.
Very good. Yeah, I was going to say, that's an amazing catch. But that is going to be the end of his lap. We'll see if he starts another one or comes into the pits, and
He's
he
pit-
is going to go in.
Let's go on board with Mornay, who's in the pits. I think many drivers have gone out for a banker lap, but yet some haven't. They've gone out and decided they want on a different tyre.
I'm on board with Curly Wurly, actually. He's going to complete the final part of his lap. Let's see where he goes in comparison to everyone else.
Ooh,
It's a
second.
22.3. And that puts him second, above Mr. Hamilton as well.
Oh. Look at how
That's a really
quickly,
good
look
lap.
how close he is to his teammate though.
Yeah, I think that this game is actually, if there's closer gaps, I think the abilities, everyone's like trying a bit harder, I think, and the abilities are much closer together. So I think we're going to see tighter qualifying sessions generally throughout the season.
Yeah, very good observation there. We'll see how interesting it'll become once we get around to Monaco, for instance, with these guys.
Yes, that's going to be an interesting race with the wide cars and everything.
I didn't see Monaco last year, unfortunately, so I think it might be interesting for me to watch it.
Just watching F1 Roadrunner, he crosses the line on his lap. He sets a 23.5 and goes 7th.
These are nice times, aren't they? Very nice, fast times today. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm on board with Mornay. He's on an out lap right now. Shall we follow him? I'm not familiar with Mornay.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I'm getting a little bit of lag off him. I do apologise, stream.
Although I cannot remember the track, he had a couple really good races last season where he actually really stood out. So let's see what he can do on this game. You may see drivers in different positions, you know, because the game may not suit them or suit them more than it did last year.
Oh, definitely. And with these wider tyres, you have more traction on the car. So essentially, you have low traction control. So, yeah, you just feel a lot. You can feel happier.
And Mornay's just weaving to get the heat in his tyres as he prepares for his lap.
Yeah,
His
he
first
is.
lap of the new season. Let's see how he finds it. Do you want to go through this one?
I will, as I'm already on board with him. I don't have my my track chart up though, unfortunately, so I can't say where the ETL lift zones are at this point. It's coming down towards turn 1. DRS wide open as a car in the pit lane is a Renault coming out. Oh, and a Haas. So both Kane and Curly by the looks of it coming out. Turn 1 and turn 2 pretty smooth from the angle we saw it. Turn 3 coming up now. It's the hardest braking point, I believe, on this track, apart from the penultimate corner. Little lockup, but very nicely round there. A little bit off the natural racing line. Little slide there, unless my lag is causing me to see it. So Sector 1 is a 27.1. How does that compare to Caribbean Crush, who's taken pole for this
Very nice
this point?
lap. That shows there's a lot more to come, actually.
Yeah,
Really nice lap from Caribbean Crush.
it's a 22.0. That's a 22.0. But Mornay
Nearly
coming around
3
to this.
tenths up. Okay.
Yeah, that's a lovely lap once my brain works. Coming out into this fast corner. Curly Wurly said it last week. You've really got to either sacrifice the first apex to hit the second one, or go for both, and it may be slightly slower. Going into braking zones of these double right-handers. Didn't look at my right hand there. Ooh, a little bit wide.
Mornay.
You know, if you were a steward there, would you say that lap should have been deleted?
You know, I'm a nice guy. I think it's a bit harsh. It was on the line. I would say that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, he
Mornay
goes second. Fantastic lap there by Mornay.
There is only about 1.6 seconds separating all 11 drivers that have set a lap at the moment.
Yeah, Caribbean Crush is going for a slightly slower lap to rebuild up his tyres by the looks of it.
I'm going to go on board with Comet at 85. He's on his out lap. Actually, no, we've got a bit of time.
Oh, Sector 3.
So
Can you have a look at what's happening in Sector 3?
Yep, I shall.
There's a driver span.
Oh, can't really... No one's off track at the moment.
Oh,
Maybe someone was just going really slowly.
fair point. Good shout. I'm on board with Ken Ianda right now. Mr. Hamilton
Oh,
retakes that pole. Wow.
Mr. Hamilton with a beautiful lap. 6/10 faster than his previous. That is a really good lap.
He knows what he
By
wants,
him.
and he wants to put it down. He wants to go, I'm going to be champion this year. I want it. You want it? Come and get it.
Breaking Clays coming onto the last sector
Clays.
of his lap. Just on board with him to see what he sets.
I do apologise for that flashing there, guys.
Apologies if we miss some of the laps. It's quite hard to keep up with everyone.
Yeah.
Breaking Clays goes to 12th for now with a 23.6. I don't know if his lap was actually faster. He may have just stayed in the same position.
No, by the looks of it, it was slower. It was 5 seconds slower by the looks of it. I'm on board with the man who has not set a lap time, who has gone very late with only 55 seconds left, and that's coming to get you.
Kane Lyand has just gone second with a 22.0.
Oh, you got Kane there now saying that he wants this championship too, and it's only round 1, guys. Imagine you come around to like Italy, where they got no downforce. Imagine the speeds we'll get there.
Coming to get A5 with 27.5 for a sector.
A little bit slower than who did we see? We saw Mornay went a little bit faster there, didn't we?
Yeah, it's good.
This fast section should be where Dave likes it. Coming to get you here. He likes this track. Hasn't had as much practice, he said to me, but he's quite enjoying it.
Curly Welly's just gone second. Actually, he's gone really close to Mr. Hamilton's
Wow,
time.
look at that.
0.063 gap.
Sector 2.
Oh, it's Kane Lyanda who's gone off. Kane Lyanda's in the wall. Don't know if he's got any damage, but that's going to be his qualifying session over.
Well, Dave's just locked all 4 tyres. Might have been a bit of lag for me there. But he's...
Another yellow in sector 2.
Yeah, but Dave's coming round. Coming to get you.
Oh,
crossing the line. Now, and he goes 9th. Ooh.
Bleeding Sunrise there with the second crash in about as many seconds.
And I can't change my camera angle because that means qualifying's over.
And what interesting qualifying it was.
Yeah, it was. Mr. Hamilton taking pole. Not really a surprise due to how fast he was in the test sessions, but the surprise is how close Curly Whirly is to him.
Yeah, Curly Whirly's not going to let him have the win easily. I can imagine he was pushing hard.
Yeah.
And that's
I think Curly...
really, really good laps, actually.
Yeah. Curly, just to clarify, Curly is not a slow driver, but I spoke to Curly a while ago, and he said that he was a little bit worried versus Mr. Hamilton. So this is going to be fun to see who gets off the line quickest.
Yes, it should be, actually. Everyone's qualified on the Ultrasofts, as expected. We did see, I think it was Schmidt at the beginning of the session who went out on Super Softs, but he changed, I believe.
I think I've just put the tyres on. Have you got the details on saying that you've got the tyres on in your spectator menu?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Everyone's gone for Ultrasofts.
Yeah, I've turned mine back on because I forgot that I could have them on. I do apologise. But yeah, so I'm going to leave that on for the race, as I think they do now in F1. They leave it on pretty much all the time. So
now there's just AI drivers crashing into each other all throughout the circuit.
It does that. We have to sit through a minute of chatting. So, you mentioned that it'd be a one-stop. What lap would you really stop after saying Mr. Hamilton's lap? Let's assume you put on new tyres after that mistake. What lap would you?
That's an interesting question. But I think that most drivers will be... Obviously, everyone's starting on the Ultrasofts. How many laps is this race, by the way? As you can see, my knowledge is splendid.
Oh, that's a good question. Google.
But no, honestly, around just before the halfway mark, I think, obviously, with the Ultrasofts wearing a bit faster than Super Softs, they're not going to... I don't think they'll make it quite to the halfway mark, but just a bit.
Oh, here we go. So you see the cars crashing.
And I may be completely wrong, so don't take my word for it. And there's the order.
Can you run through that for me quickly?
Okay, sure. Okay, on pole we have Mr. Hamilton 44 as predicted before the race. Curly Whirly is in second. Kane Lyanda is third. Fourth is Caribbean Crush. Fifth is Over Dyking. Sixth is Mornay. Seventh is Jamie James. Eighth in his first qualifying session is Rama Vaj. Ninth is GT5 King. Bleeding Sunrise. Coming to gate 85. Breaking Clays. F1 Roadrunner. And Schmidt rounds off the grid.
Wow, you made it all through that. Well
I
done.
was trying.
From my terrible calculations, apparently it's 29 laps. I don't believe that, but we can. Oh, was that rain?
That's his rain. That's his rain. That is going to be a big shake-up. Let's see how the guys do in the rain. Well then.
This is
Didn't expect that.
yeah.
The benefits to not seeing the weather before the race.
So how would you have approached this then? Would you have gone for a dry setup in qualifying, or would you have taken sort of a mixed setup?
Obviously, the drivers probably know if the rain's going to stop or not, so I think it depends on that. If it's going to rain for the whole race, then obviously I think you have to sort of disregard qualifying and take the race is obviously the main. You know, qualifying doesn't win you the race does. That makes no sense. But if you can see what I'm trying to say, the wet setup is obviously the preferred choice.
Oh, here we are.
They're getting ready to start.
There's 5 lights, and I've got a lag start, but they haven't gone away quickly. Oh, Mr. Hamilton, I think he's going to get caught by Curly Wurly. In the second stages, though, he's quicker. There's Mornay coming up through the inside.
William on the inside.
I'm going to try and have a look
That
down the
Mornay
grid.
looking for.
Oh, I just saw Curly Wurly nearly lose it a bit. Ken Iander's gone into second. And Caribbean Crush
Looks
to
like
third.
everyone's made it through. Oh, GT5 King. GT5 King's had a bad start. He's down to the back of the grid. There's a freeway battle for second.
Caribbean Crush
And it's
spreading his shot. Oh, he's off the track.
All the way round the outside.
I've just realised.
Respawn, Caribbean Crush Respawn. He's collected a Mercedes. And there's a big crash. And oh my goodness, what is going on now?
What went through there?
Drivers were bunching. And F1 Roadrunner, I think, is the biggest loser from that. He's down in 13th.
Has it? There's no
Caribbean
way he
Crush
still got
was-
his front wing through that.
Caribbean Crush spun. I think he collected a Mercedes. Couldn't see who it was. But that was an action-packed start. And there's a McLaren going for a move. It's for 9th position. It's over Dykink and Bleeding Sunrise.
Oh, he's not going to make it through here, not in the wet.
No, he isn't. Let me get back on board with the leaders.
Yeah, if you could watch the leaders, I'm gonna. Oh, there's a McLaren. There's a Williams going for a nice spin, a half spin there. I believe that was Mornay himself.
Cummins Gate 85.
Pardon?
Over Dykink just got past Dave Cummins Gate 85 up to 8th position.
Yeah. Dave's struggling here in the wet. He must have gone for a semi-dry setup, but he's got the
He's just gone
McLaren
back
down
past
there. Oh, that's interesting. He's coming into the pits. I do apologise for that. By the looks of it, he forced Bleeding Sunrise into the pit lane. I think that's going to be one to look at the stewards there. I don't think Bleeding will be very happy
Breaking
with
Place
that
has
one.
also gone into the pits.
I'm
Cummins
going
Gate
to put on my
85 is
tyres.
also in the pits.
I'm looking at the
They've all gone for
tyres.
they're still on intermediates. I
Oh,
think
big
there's crash
crash!
damage.
Big crash!
Big crash
Sector
at the
1.
back.
Who was that?
And it's Schmet 85 who's crashed into, I think it's Caribbean Crush again, who's been involved in another
No,
crash.
it wasn't
Schmet
Caribbean
85
Crush.
Has lost his front wing.
Oh, dearie me. Gents, it's round 1. Keep some of the crashing for the rest of the season.
Mr.
Have a
Hamilton
look
44
through.
then pulling away. Ken Leander and Curly Wurly battling for second and third. Curly Wurly's looking for a move actually. He's on. Oh no, I think they're just swapping around team orders.
Oh,
Looks
they
like-
are teammates.
How would you feel if you were Ken Leander in that situation?
I'd feel frustrated, but if he knows that he can't take the tyres too long, well, he's coming back at him. If he knows that he can't
I
take the
think
tyres
he's-
that long, I'd sit behind my teammate and I'd let him pull me along.
Would you say that's the first acceptance of being the second driver?
We'll see how the race unfolds. It's a bit early to say that. It's only lap
I don't
2.
think King will like me saying that, but
Mr. Hamilton, 1:39 fastest lap. Obviously, it's only
pulling away at a fast rate now. 4 seconds, the gap to Curly.
Yeah, I'm cycling through the drivers. They're on broadcast. I'm just having a look. Can you look at what's happening with Caribbean Crush? He's just gone into pits.
Yep, I think. Oh, Mornay.
Mornay.
Penalty. I didn't know that was a new feature actually. That's really good.
Yes,
He's got
that
3-second
brings
penalty.
us up.
I think it's for corner cutting.
Yeah, multiple warnings. Of course, in this league, if he deems that he shouldn't have had them, if he has skipped over to an avoiding action of a car, he can appeal it towards the stewards.
Caribbean Crush and Schmet 85 both just leaving the pits now. Their races not started too well. Caribbean Crush involved in 2 crashes already.
Oh, this is a difficult one. It might be one that we have to look at the footage again. I couldn't see much due to the spray, but all I saw was a Ferrari disappearing. So front wing damage, something that we picked up on while I chopped down to breaking clays. Oh damn it!
Oh, move 8th and 9th. F1 Roadrunner and Bleeding Sunrise battling for 9th position. And if I saw correctly, I think Bleeding Sunrise just took the position off F1 Roadrunner.
He
So
has.
he is down to
indeed.
9th now.
Sector 2. Oh, Caribbean Crush.
Ooh, I think.
Oh, he's in the wall.
3 crashes in 3 laps for Caribbean Crush has ended a miserable day for him.
Well,
And
Mr. Hamilton
it's really
coming down.
unfortunate.
Oh, look at the gap Curly's pulled from K9 Ander there. So from being nearly nose to tail, he's pulled a 1-second gap. So it must seem that Kane is not as confident as he could be in the wet.
So it looks like GT5 King has actually just gone into the pits.
Is that for fresh
know if
tyres
that's-
and a front wing change, or is it just a front wing change?
Let's see what he does. He goes on to intermediates. This may be his first pit stop. He may be going to the end.
Yeah, you can take these tyres long. Why am I on board with him
Yes,
in the
he
pit
can.
lane?
And he comes out in 12th position. Now the race has settled down. Do you want me to just run through the order?
Oh, Bleeding Sunrise.
Let's see what
Oh, wait.
happens to him. Oh, he's
Sorry, I've
buried
got
it as well.
K9 Ander. K9 Ander's off the track. I think he's fighting with the Force India. I've got a horrible camera angle. I can't see anything. He
Oh,
is. He's
K-
fighting with the Force India, and the Mercedes is getting involved with Jamie James right now. So Ram,
Ram
you wanted more Ram.
Ram on his first appearance in the World Series, battling with Kane and Jamie James here for 3rd position. We'll get back to what happens to Bleeding Sunrise in a bit.
Well, I just looked at my phone where I've got the chat, and someone had asked for more Ram. You got him. Oh,
Let's see, can
Oh.
Ram attack Kane Lyanda, who... Oh, that could have been a collision there.
this is going to
Very
be
unlucky. I
fun
think
coming
Kane
down
may
to
have crash damage.
yeah, this is going to come down to into turn 1. This is going to be interesting. This might be the
all of
Force
this-
India all over again.
Is benefiting Curly, who's now pulling a really good 4-second gap, I believe, to Kane Lyanda at the moment.
We've calmed
Over
down.
Dyking in 6th position is now catching up to him.
They have calmed down. It's almost like Kane might have made a mistake that lap, which caused them to get very close. But it looked like, from
Yeah,
when
I
I
was just
switched
gonna
onto him, it looks like he was under attack coming into that chicane.
Was just going to say, Bleeding Sunrise, he looked like he crashed in the same position that Caribbean crashed in.
Ooh,
So
that'd
it's
be interesting.
unfortunate for him. He looked like he had quite a good start. Overtook F1 Roadrunner. Was running in 7th, I believe, or 8th. And that's his race over as well.
Just something to say. If you've had an incident on track, please don't put it into the YouTube chat. Oh, Kane go for a slide. Please reserve it for sending it to the stewards. We don't want to start an argument in the YouTube chat. Not saying it to anyone in
just
particular.
Run through the order then.
Yes, please.
Okay, I shall. So the leader of this race is Mr. Hamilton.
Ooh, sector
there's
2.
been and it is over Dyking who was facing the wrong way there.
Was
I saw
it? Because
bits of
Jamie James
front
just
wing
face
flying
planted into the wall.
I think both of them crashed. Over Dyking's now down in 7th. I think they
Oh.
both had a collision.
Oh,
Two
has
teammates there.
Overdikey got no front wing?
I'm just trying to check. I can't check. So
I'll have a look at it. Because this is going to be interesting. They've both got front wing damage.
he's
Who's going to
struggling.
come into the
Overdyking's
pits?
struggling. Overdyking is struggling, and I think he's chipped off a bit of his front wing. I can see the
Yeah.
lack of downforce on his car.
He has. I took a look at it. I had the broadcast camera on. Jamie James is into the pits.
fitting.
This will be interesting because he's released Mornay, who's a quick driver. But this will be interesting to see if Overdyking's pit too. Oh no!
So they're gonna double box here.
They're double stacking.
Well,
That might be a lack of communication with the team.
yeah, I was gonna say. Well, they're both in the pits, so they are down in 7th and 8th at the moment. They may fall further. So should I just run through the order?
Go on, quickly.
Yeah.
You've been trying to do it for a couple of laps
Mr.
now.
Hamilton. Currently leading Mr. Hamilton 44. Has a 7-second gap to second place, which is Curly Wurly. In third, 4 seconds behind him is Kane Lyanda, closely followed by the new driver Ram Avaj. 5th is Mornay, 7 seconds behind them. 6th is F1 Roadrunner, further 5 seconds behind them. Then there's a sizable gap. Braken Clays, his teammate down in 7th, is 13 seconds behind him. Jamie James is in 8th now after coming out of the pits. Coming to get 85 is 9th. He's closing in on Jamie James after his pit stop. 10th is Over King, and 11th is GT5 King. And quite a long way now behind him is Schmidt85, who is now rounding off the grid.
Wow. That's been interesting, but right now we're looking at Ram, who's having a look at Kane again. I'm sort of questioning whether Ram's got a dry setup on, because he's been sliding all over the place. But this might be interesting coming into turn 1 if Ram can keep the downforce on that car. Oh, excuse me. He seems to be sliding a lot out of the penultimate corner. Kane already going defensive, but he's pulled back into line, knowing that Ram isn't able to get past him yet.
Oh, Kane's gone very wide.
Oh
Kane's
my
gone very, very
goodness
wide.
me! Oh well, that's
lost the
gifted
position.
third place.
I think he may have just locked up into that corner. It doesn't look like he has any crash damage.
No, he doesn't have any crash damage. Caribbean Crush has left the session after sitting here and watching for a bit. Oh, Kane will be ruining that.
Ooh, I was just trying to see if he had any crash damage, but it looks like he hasn't.
No,
so
I
it's
don't
just
think he
a small
has.
mistake from Kane. I think we see mistakes a lot more in the World Championship, obviously with the assist restrictions. You do see mistakes like that a bit more than you do in the World Series, and it creates some good racing.
It does. But how would you feel if you just locked up and gone straight on at turn 1? Would you be feeling slightly defeated as I skip through those?
I feel
cameras?
like you'd rather that than a lag spike or a driver hitting you. Like I think the best drivers make the least mistakes. Obviously, that's just like I'm just saying the most simple things right now. But like you will know that you know what you need to improve on, and Kane's obviously gonna like think about every time he goes into turn 1 now. Make sure he brakes exactly like he needs to, doesn't lock up. You know what I mean? So it makes you a better driver overall, I think.
It does. I mean, a mistake will make a driver slightly better because they'll know next lap, don't do it again.
Yeah. It gets into your head.
Though, funnily, looking at the chat, it seems Ram's becoming a fan favourite. He's a little comment here. Watch Ram get up to second place now. Well, we'll try. Hopefully, we'll see that. It won't be for a couple of laps. He is a talented driver.
He's doing very, very well.
Though he is drifting round into turn 3 there, isn't he? Into the straight towards turn 3.
Now he's just showboating.
Well, wouldn't you if you got past Kane?
Yes, I would. It looks like everyone looks like it seems quite a sizable gap between most of the drivers right now.
Yes, there is quite a sizable gap. Though I just want to jump down onto what's your name? Coming to get you. I'm going to use this mode instead. Right, coming to get you. Let's go to spectate. Oh, that's a lovely camera angle I've got there. Just give him some showtime. He started quite low down. Actually, I think he's in his qualifying position right now. Ooh. I'm having a weird glitch right now where it's saying that he's constantly hitting the rev limiter.
Sure. I'm trying to see his gaps. He looks quite lonely at the moment. 7 seconds in front of Over King.
Change that.
5 seconds in front of. There's been an overtake for GT5 King, who's in the pits again.
Yeah, that's his second stop of the day. Let's have a look at the position changes. See Ram up 3 positions. Look at that. Up
Really
3
good
positions.
something.
I can count. I mean 5.
Let me quickly.
It's been a long break between commentary.
Yes, it has, and it looks like it's been quite calm. After the hectic start, the race has calmed down quite a bit.
It has. We do have 2 retirements though, and that unfortunately is Bleeding Sunrise and Caribbean Crush, 2 drivers who we believe crashed in the same point.
Yes, interestingly enough. just looking at the position changes, F1 Roadrunners had the best start to this race. Up 7 positions, and up to 6th place now.
Yeah, that's a lovely. It's just the consistency now.
On board with the Williams. Williams just spun GT5 King in 12th position.
Just going down to him now. Oh, that's a hefty spin. I think this is the first lap since his spin.
Yes, he has been lapped.
He's sitting there waiting for the drivers to go past him. That's a good move there, so you don't spin out and spin out of the pits and make Mr. Hamilton a little bit scared because there's a car in front of him.
Good on him.
Been
biggest
lapped by his
loser from the
teammate.
start. Over Dykink, down in 10th, started 5th position.
Oh, that's interesting. So you see that no one is safe here. When these cars go, they go, don't they?
Yeah, they really do.
Let's have a look. Oh, Schmet's in the pits. I think that's for his. I can't tell if it's first stop where he just changed the stops. There we
over
go.
the last few laps, Kane's been catching Rav Majaj. Just as I'm just going to call him Ram because Rav Majaj is just not working. Right? He has caught him up a little bit. I'm on board with the GT5 King again. He's just
Coming to the pits again. Oh, Kane's got past Ram. Oh, Ram's pitted.
Ram, he's pitted. He's pitted.
Oh.
He's gone for another set of intermediates.
Mornay, he's dropped behind Mornay. Mornay, being a smooth driver, he's got to now Ram's got to navigate past Mornay's lapped teammate of GT5 King. So
GT5 King's been not too. He hasn't got in the way of any driver, so I don't think Ram will have too many problems.
I think GT5 King, I'm not entirely aware of how long he's been here, but I think he knows the rule enough. Jamie James going fastest with a 138.2. Ooh, a little bit wide there by Mornay. Who are you looking at, Mailstar?
I'm looking at trying to see if there's any potential battles for like the next part of the race, and I'm looking at Jamie James, who's catching Braken Clays at the moment. He is 1.9 seconds now behind him. I think in the next 3 or 4 laps, he can see him now, so he's got a target to aim for. I think 3 or 4 laps, and he's going to get him. 1.4 seconds. Gap's coming down quite a bit. I don't even think it'll be 3 or 4 laps, maybe the next 2 or 3.
Well, I'm on board now with Jamie James, so we'll sit here and watch him as we believe this is the closest battle on track. That whopping great big number 25 and that shark fin there. That's a nice number. Well, it's a nice design, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's go interval. Yeah, I can do that. Give me a second. There we go. I forgot I had it on fastest lap. I do apologise.
Oh, is it just me who thinks that the rain is stopping a little bit?
Oh, it is a little bit. It's getting a little bit lighter, so we could have some dry tyre running at the end of the race. But you see, Jamie James is right up behind Braken Clays. Someone else has had a spin.
Oh, it's GT5 King again.
Oh, he might be getting out of the way of the drivers.
No, he is the wrong way around on the start-finish line.
Oh, this is going to be fun because this battle's coming down there now. Horrible camera angle. But let's see. Is he going to get past? Is Jamie James going to get past Braken Clays? No, I think he might make a move if he can stay close enough into turn 3. What do you think, Mostar?
Braken Clays has not had the best run out of there. There's a chance here, but obviously with these cars, it's obviously a lot harder. Nope, I don't think anything's happening. Another battle for you, coming to get you 85 and Over Dykink, battling for 9th and 10th position at the moment. Over Dykink's been catching, coming to get you over the last few laps, and the gap is now 0.6 seconds.
See, I would look at that, but Jamie James just got very close to Braken Clays. Oh, can you tell us what's happening with Over Dykink?
No, the gap's quite a little bit sizable. I don't think a move will happen. Let's focus on this battle with Braken Clays and Jamie James then.
They're all still on the intermediate tyres, and I'm still on a helicopter shot, which was a lovely tight shot, so you can see how fast these cars are going. Coming round, I'm getting a tad bit lag. You see, Jamie James nearly kissing that wall as he's coming round.
Really good run out of that corner. But
he has Braken Clays taking too much curb.
Would you say the rain is a bit of an equaliser in this battle?
It is, that and the setups with because it looks like Braken Clays, much like Ram, has picked quite a dry setup, so they're sliding around a bit. Oh, he's gone for the move.
Jamie James going for the move.
I do apologise for that, but he's coming back. Has he? Yes, he's made the move.
Really good driving there.
And I think GT5 King
I think Breaking Clays
is in the pits again.
The battle's continuing.
Oh, it is. It's coming down. He's not going to make a move into turn 1. Surely not.
There's a battle for 6th position with F1 Roadrunner and Ram Majid if you want to
Yeah.
If you want to go and look at that.
You're right, mate. You want to put your teeth in?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So we swapped one Renault versus a Mercedes to one Renault versus a Force India. That lovely pink livery.
I'm not fond of it.
Really? I love it. Maybe because I got pink on my helmet this year. Going round. Oh, into the chicane where we saw Kane lose that lead. Pardon?
I'm just not into
it. I like it. I think it's good.
Mr. Hamilton's now opened up a 10-second gap on Curly Whirly.
It's fantastic. That's not enough to pit though. So
no, it isn't.
I reckon it'll be like lap 16 where he can comfortably pit if he keeps going at this speed.
Would you say Curly's only chance, I think... Oh, Curly's pitted, so ignore that.
Well, he might be trying to overcut him. Could try with the overcut. Not sure. He's got to have some pretty fast laps in.
Do you mean undercut?
Undercut, yes. I'm having a moment. Rams going round the outside into the penultimate corner. Oh, wow. Sorry. F1 Roadrunner gave him a lot of room there. A lot of respect there. That was a lovely move going round the outside. I do apologise. I missed it initially.
Ram is on a rampage at the moment.
Well, that's where his name comes from, probably.
No pun intended. No pun intended, guys. Don't cringe.
Millstar, king of puns. And he's absolutely flown away from F1 Roadrunner there, hasn't he?
Yes, he has actually, and I think he was always. I think it's his first race, so he's always got something to prove.
He most certainly has.
Breaking Clays, who was just pitted for another set of intermediates. I think he's got something to prove. You know, it's your first race. You want the other guys to know who you are quickly. You know.
Yeah.
And he's doing that at the moment. He's putting himself right in the midst of it.
He's fighting against drivers who have fought for wins before. Curly Whirly, obviously winning our last race in Abu Dhabi in the World Series before he made the switch into the World Championship.
Mr. Hamilton now 19 seconds to gap to Kane Leander.
It's ridiculous. We're going to have to start saying Mr. Hamilton's going to have to start from the back. Oh, sector 1.
That is Breaking Clays.
Oh, is he? No.
What's going on here?
He hasn't beached it, has he?
Oh my god, he's beached it.
You can beach the cars in Formula 1. Oh, sorry.
No, he's not beached. He's stuck on the. I have never seen anything like this.
He's getting off it. He's off. No, he's retired.
He's retired.
Oh,
unbelievable!
Breaking Clays. And we've got it all on broadcast. Ram going fastest with 1:37.9.
Well, in the beta when we were testing it, there was a problem at Brazil where on the back straight there was a ditch on the left where cars could literally get stuck quite easily. And I think it's a similar problem here. The curb is just so high. I think his cars got stuck.
That is on the top of it. Very interesting.
That is phenomenal. I've never seen anything like that.
And we got it on the stream as well. Poor Breaking Clays.
If we have a funniest moment thing at the end of the season, that's going in there.
I think that's going in as saddest retirement.
But I don't think Breaking Clays will be happy at all. Really.
Oh no, he won't.
He won't be laughing at all.
No. Just want to point out we are on the PS4 in this league, not on PC. No idea why. I think it's just because the PS4 is better. Shh, don't tell anyone. This is Front Row Racing. Just got to put it out there. Got to plug us. If we don't plug us, then I don't get paid. This is Front Row Racing. This is the World Championship for non-assists, the non-assist racers. They've got manual gears, no traction control, no stability control, nothing.
In the pits.
Oh, hello. Let's have a look at our leader. Oh.
Coming out of the pits and Kane's taking him. Don't think Kane's pitted though.
No, Kane, I shall have a look at the stops before I continue with my plug. No, Kane has not stopped and nor has Mornay. I think it'll be interesting now. Oh, Curly Whirly going fastest.
I think the track is getting drier. Track is definitely getting drier.
It is, but the rain is still falling, but a little lighter than it was earlier.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, so if you want to come and have a go at this league, you can just message us on Facebook. It'd be lovely to have some more drivers in this league. We are meant to have some more. Not sure why we didn't have as many as we could have done. But
It sounds like a beg.
I'm begging. I remembered why now. I'm not going to mention it though. But we're on board with more.
Of tiers.
Yeah, we do. We have the reserve systems. If you can explain what the reserve system is for us.
Yeah.
See if you've learned over these years you've been here.
That everyone here has come through into the main World Championship and World Series leagues is you message on Facebook obviously, and every other week there's a reserve race where drivers who are not in the league yet come and prove themselves. And essentially, unless the system has changed, I believe, you can pick a reserve driver. If you're a World Series or World Championship driver and you're not available, you can pick a reserve driver to essentially race for you and attain constructors' points. And it gives a chance for them to prove themselves as well. If ever a driver drops out of the league and we need a new space and we need a new driver.
I can confirm you can pick a third driver to sit in your car for you if you're not able to turn up.
Yeah. I think the reserve systems work quite well.
It does. You and me both have come through the reserves. I've not won a race yet, but I've been pulled up to replace Caribbean Crush, who was originally in the Renault, who has moved to this league. I'm in the Assist League, as I can't drive these cars. But on the persons that can drive these cars, Mr. Hamilton is very close to Kane Ayanda. Kane's tyres must be struggling, or Mr. Hamilton's fast, or it's just because he is fast in general. What are you watching this race with us? This little battle?
Yes, I'm watching this battle. I don't think Kane will look to battle Mr. Hamilton too much, but let's see how he does. It's catching up to him much quicker than I expected, actually. Is he going to make a move into there? No, he isn't. So let me try and get the TV pod view. Mr. Hamilton now looking for a move to attain.
You know what? I'm going to copy you.
Essentially, if he makes this move on Kane, he has a 20-second gap to him because Kane still has to stop, plus whatever he can make up until whatever gap he can form until Kane does stop.
Oh, Kane's. He's going in there.
Goes for the inside. It's a lunge and there's contact. He forces him off a tiny bit. I don't think that he did anything too aggressive there.
No, he hasn't.
I think that was just part of the collision.
Yeah. I don't think there's any damage with either car. I think it was just wheel on side pod, which is good.
I think Mr. Hamilton put his car there and then Kane turned in after. So I think it's a fair move. There's a battle for 7th going on at the moment if you want to take a look.
Yeah, I will just drop
F1
down.
Roadrunner and Jamie James, there's a slight bit of contact.
Hello again, gents. We've seen you before.
His front wing. I don't think he has though.
No damage, no visual damage, but there are some little bits of damage that we can see before. 3-second penalty for GT5 King. Again, can be appealed, but could make it worse if you would.
He's had a miserable afternoon.
He has. Let's hope we don't have such a bad race tomorrow.
Yes. Tomorrow is going to be quite interesting.
It will be. What are you hoping for tomorrow as we sit here watching Jamie James basically push F1 Roadrunner around the track?
I'm not really sure. It's your first race this season, you know. Obviously,
sorry to interrupt you. Jamie James is looking, but he's not going to do it yet.
No, I think he is.
He is. Oh my goodness me, that was a bit close.
To quote Ayrton Senna, I forgot the quote. It's something about gaps and going for gaps and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can paraphrase it.
Okay, what's the quote?
Do you want to Google it?
No, I'm going to do this myself.
He'll do it.
If you go for a gap that no, that's not it. That's Maldonado. If you no longer go for a gap that exists, as Mr. Hamilton sets the fastest lap, if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you are no longer a racing driver. Jamie James went for that gap, and I think Mornay's just pitted. Jamie James went for that gap, and I think F1 Roadrunner closed him in a little bit too tightly there. But he was there, and he went for it, showing those natural skills that he has. And on road pits.
He has. Ooh, that slide from Jamie James. Ooh, Mornay's on the Ultra Softs.
So, it's actually gone dry. It's
I
actually
completely missed that.
So let's see. Most of the drivers are still on intermediates. It is Mornay who is the first driver.
Yeah, he can go to the end on these. It is 10 laps.
F1 Roadrunner's on super softs. Over Dyking's pitted. He's on super softs. Schmet 85 is on super softs as well. Mornay going on ultras. Do you think they'll make it to the end?
I think they will if they're kind to them. But the interesting thing is, Mr. Hamilton's still got to do another lap, and so's Kane Nyanda.
I think this is an opportunity missed for Curly Wurley there.
It will be. If Curly goes another lap, he can go. If he can make the tyres last for another lap, he can stay. He can go ahead of Mr. Hamilton if Mr. Hamilton pits this lap.
Let's see if Mr. Hamilton pits this lap actually.
Where is he? He's coming round towards the pits. This will be interesting. I'm going to predict he will.
Gone on ultra softs. GT5 King's gone on soft. He's a lap down though.
Mr. Hamilton does not pit. Okay. He still thinks it's wet enough.
I don't think it is. Kane Nyanda is pitting.
Look at Curly. Curly won't pit then.
Obviously, yeah. Team orders.
They're coordinating. Yes, let's have a look at Ram.
If they're going to swap drivers like they did at the beginning, then Curly should have priority then, surely.
He should. But Curly might say that. Curly might have said, I can make these tyres last longer.
Maybe he can.
But he might be quicker in the end anyway, because he'll have fresher tyres. Jamie James also carrying on. So the top 3, 4 even, still on the intermediates. Favourite, who apparently is getting a few comments.
A bit, mate. Could you repeat that?
I'm just saying that the top 4 have not stopped yet, and they're still on these tyres.
I think they're all waiting on one another to pit.
Fair point.
I think they want one to pit and essentially test out the conditions, because they can't really see what's going on behind them.
Well, they could be waiting to see if someone... DRS is now enabled. I would pit now.
Yep, I think that's usually a good sign. It was a good sign last year.
Yes, it is.
2016 when it was a good time to pit.
Back on board with Mr. Hamilton. Is he going to make that dive into the pits? He looks stable though.
See, from Curly Wurley's point of view, then, if in the post-race interviews, then there's nothing really he could have done. Like, would you agree that there's nothing really he could have done to stop Mr. Hamilton today?
No, Mr. Hamilton was on a charge. He's just been the quicker driver so far. Though we'll see how he goes on these ultra softs. This is going to be a telltale sign, because Curly Wurley's in.
I acted as if the race had finished. It hasn't. So anything could still happen with 10 laps to go.
And my turn to quote. In Formula 1, you can probably guess who I'm quoting out. It is Formula 1, and if it can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. I probably butchered that quote. It's Murray Walker.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Jamie James is now into the pits on the super soft tyres, and now the whole grid is on dries.
They are all on dries now. Curly Wurley in third.
I've just seen Mornay. Force India on the grass. Let me see who that is. I'm glitching out.
Ram.
So
He's the only Force India in the group.
Oh yeah, Force India on the grass. Ram. He's just lost a position to Mornay. He's down in 5th. Top 4 all on ultra softs.
This is interesting now because Overdikey going fastest on the softs, on the supers even, but that won't be staying long once Mr. Hamilton gets those up to speed. But that's interesting that Ram's gone for the supers as well. We've got 10 laps left. What tyres would you go on? If this is happening tomorrow, what tyres would you have gone on?
For me, I usually, just the way I am, I usually play it safe. So I would have definitely gone on the super softs. I'm not that good with tyre wear, just personal. This is a personal thing. I don't think I'm that good. So I'll probably go on the super softs and play it safe.
I'm not writing down exactly what you're saying. I mean, what? That's a little insight into Millstars racing. I can now make those jokes because I'm racing against him.
Oh, I understood what you meant.
It's fine, mate. No, I would have gone completely opposite. I would have gone to the ultras, much like Mornay and Kane have done. The interesting thing will be is that Kane versus Curly Wurly. Curly Wurly's on younger tyres, so he's used Kane as a sort of a guinea pig. Can you go quickly on them? Yes, you can. I'll come in a couple of laps then. But he is behind. He's behind Kane.
Ooh, that's interesting. I don't think if I was Kane now, I think it gets a bit awkward in the party chat when Curly asks, "Do you want to just swap around then?"
See,
3 seconds the gap. I don't know if Curly will catch him. We'll see, they're both on the same tyres. Both pitted it within 1 lap of each other, so we'll see what happens when they get near each other.
It might be down to it might be now down to oh, Kane Ayanda 3 second penalty.
I just watched him do that. I think he just misjudged the corner. Yeah.
Oh dearie me. This is certainly a battle for second and third, but if I were them, I'd say let's do it, let's have a battle, but let's not push it too hard.
Yes, definitely. I think that's fair enough. Only thing is, Mornay is 3 seconds behind Curly, so if Curly does catch Kane, you would assume that Mornay would as well.
Well,
I think he would get confusing, you know, with
can I make it even more confusing?
Yes, go on.
Ram is possibly going to have Ram is going to have DRS on Mornay, and he's on the super soft tyres, and he's been catching the Williams on the supers versus the ultra soft. He's gone fastest. He's taken the fastest lap away from Mr. Hamilton on the ultra soft.
Ram,
look
we
at
have
this.
Got a young prodigy in Ram here.
I think if he can get his qualifying sorted, he might end up. Oh, wow, the super softs are faster at this point. That's what I'm. Oh wow, Overdikey going into 130. This is going to be an interesting race now. We're looking at ultra softs on the Williams versus the super softs on the Force India. Ram,
Curly
the new
is
boy,
right behind Kane. I don't know what's happened, but he is directly behind Kane now.
Oh, Ram!
0.4 seconds is the gap. You can stay on board with that. I'll tell you if anything happens.
Yeah, Ram's making the move on the straight. He's got his tyre in there. He wants that position. Oh no, you're not going to move into the chicane, are you? No, he's not. He's pulled out of it.
Driver intelligence there shown by Ram.
He has. I think if he can stay this close through here, he'll get him on DRS, or he'll get him there.
Oh, what a move! I didn't even look. I wasn't seeing, but that was
I blinked and I missed it. Mr. Hamilton. Oh, he's taken back that fastest lap. He wants to be known as the fastest driver. And oh, that was almost Mornay going into the back of Ram there.
Breaking close. He retired quite a while ago.
I'm going to just swap Ram. Yeah, Ram. Kane got another penalty. 6 seconds.
I think now he's going to let Curly through. Because,
he is. I'm back on board with Curly Wurly.
It's just not worth battling.
No, 6. Oh. You know, I think they are going to battle though. So 64 versus 22.
Surely there's no worth in it.
In the team battles, wow.
We'll see when they get to the straight if Kane does let him through, but he should. There's 6 seconds. There's 6 seconds worth of penalties. He's going to lose time to Mornay the longer he tries and defends from Curly.
He does. But
not Mornay, Ram.
Yeah. If you look at it now versus team-wise, I believe that Haas would be heading the standings due to their double podium finish, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would. And I just don't feel like Curly's catching up to him here. Surely
he's going to let him pass.
Let him through.
No, he's not.
No, he isn't.
He wants second.
No, he is.
Oh, okay. Well, this is going to be a question we have to poke at in the post-race commentary.
Yes, we do have to ask. Twice he's let him through now. Wonder what Kane is thinking.
It's going to be a question.
It was okay. But
might be
first
frosty.
Time, maybe he was not too happy. We'll see after the race.
Yeah. I believe that was the closest battle on track. Well, they're still the closest battle, so I'm going to stay with them.
I think they're just...
Wow, Ram 27.4.
Track is continuing to get faster.
It truly is. It's been a fantastic race. Wow, Jamie James going even faster, 27.1. Gents, give me a moment to speak. Over Dikey, 27.170. Jesus Christ, guys! Go on, Millstar. I need to catch my breath.
I was just going to say, track is evolving and it's getting faster and faster towards the end of the race now.
It truly is. We're currently on lap 24. Going to be heading to lap 25 ever so soon. Let's have a look at our leader. Oh, what a surprise, he's on his own.
14 seconds is the gap between Mr. Hamilton and Curly Welly, unless he makes a mistake. I think it was Belgium last season where Mr. Hamilton was cruising in the lead, and he made a mistake with a couple of laps to go. But I think this Mr. Hamilton is more evolved, a little bit of a better driver, and that is saying something considering how good he was back then even. Yeah, I think he's going to keep his concentration levels up. He should win this race comfortably.
It is, and it's interesting to say that there's a Hamilton winning a race in a McLaren. It's a while since we've had to say that.
Over Dyking battling the F1 Roadrunner for 7th. You want to take a look at that?
Let's have a pop down to number 7. There we are. Hello again, guys. Got a different Ferrari behind you this time, haven't you, F1 Roadrunner?
Do we have a question of the day? We should have a question of the day.
We don't, unfortunately, seeing as I completely forgot that I had to do that until about, how long ago did you ask that question? I'd say question of the day, who's the fan favourite driver? I'm looking at the chat now, I think you know.
Okay, oh no, actually no, that's not a good question.
Let's focus on the track, shall we? Because we've got F1 Roadrunner with over Dikey right behind him. He's darting all over the place.
I've got a bit of a dark question. What is the name of the driver that that unfortunately killed a marshal here in, I think it was 2001, in a crash? Anyone wants to have a go at that in the comments, because my question of the days are slightly dark.
Well, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I'm honestly shocked by that. I thought you were a lovely guy and you're as dark as me.
But that's an interesting question.
It is.
I'll see if anyone else.
Oh, Curly Whirly. Curly Whirly 124.9 over Dikey going wide. Slightly wide. This is going to be a fun one for the stewards to look at because Schmet 3-second penalty. That's hang on. Look at over Dikey. He's coming round. He's got his DRS open. He's got him. Oh, he might not have though.
Has he? Straight line speed, very equal.
He is. I think concede the space, F1 Roadrunner. He's going to have DRS on the next one as well. We have one. Put my teeth back in. We have one comment to do with your question of the day. I will not answer. We'll not read it out yet due to it, not everyone else having a chance. Excuse me.
A5. I just on board a Commentsgate A5. He's taken a spin.
Has he?
Yes, he's down in 9th position. He's not
dear.
under threat from Schmet, who's a lap down. So I think his position's pretty much sewn up for today.
Well, I did have a talk with Dave before the event. I would have had talks with more drivers, but I sort of had a horrible migraine. So I know it's excuses, but a horrible migraine. I couldn't do much. But Dave said that he was not happy with the amount of practice he'd had, so he's just going for some points, and he's going to get some. Though he is the sole
just
Red
tell me
Bull
the guess that you got on the YouTube channel. I won't say the answer now.
There's Villeneuve.
Okay, that's our first guess.
Our first guess. James, quick driver. Capitalised on the rain, did he?
Oh, sorry, you just lagged there a bit. I didn't hear.
Oh, I do apologise. I said Jamie James is a quick driver. He just didn't capitalise during the rain, did he?
No, he really didn't, and looks like it's going to be a mid-table finish for him. Obviously, there are 2 laps still to go, but the closest battle we have on track is not even a battle. It's just a gap opening up between F1 Roadrunner and Over Dyking for 8th and 7th after Over Dyking overtook him a couple laps ago.
Hello, one second.
No real battles.
Oh, Curly Whirly is catching Mr. Hamilton.
Something's happened to Mr. Hamilton. No, 2 seconds. Something's happened that we
Something
haven't seen.
hefty has happened. I want to have a look at. I'm going to have to look back on the broadcast to when that moment was. We've had another guess as well. Thank you for your guesses of the question of the day, which we will repeat to the podium sitters, and we'll reveal the answer later on. But that was...
Something must have happened to Mr. Hamilton because the gap was around 14 seconds, if I'm not...
It was a hefty gap. Could have got out and had a pee and then come back
has him in his sights, and this race may not be completely over.
No, it isn't. We do have 2 laps left, but I'm going to say this now. Mr. Hamilton may have slowed down just to play with us. He might be listening to the stream and gone, all right, I'll play with them. I'll let him think that we're watching.
No, surely not.
No.
Surely not.
You wouldn't do that. Not the first race, would you, Mr. Hamilton?
The gap's now 2.1 seconds.
Who's the fast 2.2? Who's oh my god. This is confusing. My tiny little brain can't handle it.
The gap is now nearly 1.9. It's going down to 1.9 for me. Yeah, it is 1.9 seconds. The gap is falling. I don't know.
It is falling. No, we're not going to have a last lap battle, are we?
He on lap 26. He was 10 seconds slower. He has had an incident somewhere in the track.
Ah, we might have missed him spinning.
Continuing to fall here as we go into the final lap of the race.
Oh, Curly's gone a little bit wide.
This is really not over.
This is not over. This is going to be a final lap shootout.
Curly is pushing.
He wants this win. This could be interesting. This would be an interesting podium chat if Curly steals it on the last lap. He does not have DRS, so this will be a pass completely under his own steam for this entire lap.
1.2 seconds is the gap.
See, now this would be interesting if they took each other out and Kane went to win. Hang on, have we commented curse Mr. Hamilton?
No, sure, no. Let's not do that. Let's not say anything.
It's the first race of the season. Clearly, we haven't. We're perfect. We're perfect commentators, obviously.
Curly is pushing the limits of what his car can do. He literally just skimmed the wall there.
He's pushing the limits of what's legal as well.
I don't think he cares.
GT5 King, another penalty.
0.9 seconds is the gap. Curly will have DRS on the straight, but it may not make much of a difference.
Oh, he nearly kissed that wall there. Oh, Kane, another penalty. Oh, Kane's DNF'd.
Kane's out of the race.
Oh no! Ram's on the podium in his first race.
Ram takes a podium in his first race, but Kane's out, and I don't see what happened to him.
Can you look at him quickly?
This battle, pardon? I'm on the battle for the win, you know.
So, don't look at me like that. That is, you know what? I think Curly might have just backed off to save the car. That is an absolute shocker there. In the final lap of the race, Mr. Hamilton takes the win anyway, but from a gap of 14 seconds to 0.8. And Ram...
I can't wait to find out in the
I can't skip chat. Through, but Ram...
Neither can I.
In his first race... In his first race in FRR, takes that. That is fantastic. I want to know what happened to Kane there. That
is really unfortunate. I don't know what happened to Kane. He's left the session. I don't think he's happy. I wouldn't be, to be honest.
No. Overdike taking the fastest lap at the end of the race. If we can follow round to Sector 3, we should be able to see Kane's carcassed car if it hasn't despawned by now.
Kane is actually registered him as 9th because Schumacher was a lap down, wasn't he? So
he was. So Kane. Sometimes they are classified, but I think that is going to have to be a talk that the stewards will have to have. But look at that, Mr. Hamilton taking a win. I'm not sure. Both of us are pretty miffed about what happened with the with the spin. We assume it's a spin, but look at this yellow helmet in a McLaren. While since that's taken a win, hasn't it?
Yes, it is. And it was a great race from Mr. Hamilton. I think he fully deserved it, but maybe didn't expect it to be as close as it was at the end.
Maybe. I sort of want to say that, look at that. Oh, I'm just looking at the Force India on the side.
Right, do you want me to just run through the order then?
Yeah, if you could, while we look at the podium. Look at that.
So, our final finishing positions today. Mr. Hamilton takes the win. Only 0.8 seconds in front of Curly. Third place was Ram in his first race in FRR. I think he will be very happy with that. Jamie
Oh, he's
James
done
finished
better than me.
fourth. Mornay finished fifth. By the way, Ram started in eighth as well, which is actually really good. Mornay
Fantastic.
finished fifth. Over Dykink in sixth. F1 Roadrunner starting 13th, managed to get a good set of points and finished seventh. Kamenskaya 85, finished in eighth place. Says Roman Grosjean.
But
I
we all
believe
know that was
Ken
Kane.
Landa.
It was Kane.
We'll see what happens with that, but for now it says he finished ninth. Schmet 85 did finish the race in 10th, and him and GT5 team in 11th. Both of them were a lap down, and we had DNFs, but we can't really see them because it says the actual driver's name.
This is unfortunate, but we do know one of them was breaking clays and coming to get used teammate Caribbean Crush.
Just looking at the incidents, there were quite a lot of incidents throughout the race.
What's there? Oh my goodness me. Let's not push into that, actually. That's nothing that we should look at. That's the steward's ideas. We shouldn't look at that. Right. So, could you add them into the party?
Yes, I will.
As you are the
right,
party
just
master.
find their names quickly again.
It was Mr. Hamilton 44, Ram, and Curly. Not in that order, though. Just press cancel of that. Yeah. Hamilton's Mr. Hamilton, pretty dominant as proved in the test sessions, but that was a good race from him. I'm very curious to find out what happened to make him drop that back that far down to meet Curly.
Right, let me just invite these guys into the lobby and see their opinions on what was an interesting race.
It was. And why don't you run through your question of the day whilst you're doing it?
Yes, I will. I'll just wait for the guys to get in here, and then
Fair point. Yeah.
go at the question of the day. How do you spell his PSN?
Whose?
Ram.
It is. I can't see because he has left the session. So I believe it's. Okay, yeah. Ram
Right.
might not be aware that we do podium chats as it is his first session.
Do you want to just
but-
message him quickly?
I cannot because I'm broadcasting. But
Oh yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
no, yeah.
One second.
It's alright. We can only assume that Ram's ecstatic, and so ecstatic he's ran downstairs to everyone and gone, "I've just got a podium!"
Right, let me let him know.
Yeah. So who do you think had the best overtake of this race?
Best overtake, I think it was that dive by Jamie James, definitely.
It
That
was.
dive was sensational.
So,
Let
yeah.
me just get Ram in here if I can.
Hopefully he'll join.
We've got Curly in
Curly's joined
in the
us.
chat. How you doing, Curly? Here's
Yeah, mate, I'm alright.
Oh, there he is. Right, we just get Mr. Hamilton in
Hamilton's
here as
in.
well. Let's see if we can get Raj. Raj?
Ram.
Not Raj.
Oh, were you watching The Big Bang Theory by any chance?
Yes, I did watch it.
Do apologise for
he's-
the name change there.
Right, we'll just start talking to these guys before we get until we see if we can get Ram in here. I don't think we will though.
Okay,
So yeah, do you want to go for some questions, Lord JB?
I shall. Mr. Hamilton, congratulations on your win, sir.
Thanks, man.
Now, everyone is really curious. What happened? What that caused you to get so close to Curly in those last two laps?
I think I lost a bit of concentration because I was so far ahead, and then I just spun into the gravel
Oh,
and destroyed my rear tires completely. So last few laps was a bit on the edge, trying to keep Curly behind, but it was okay.
so let's go back to qualifying. I believe you qualified on pole. How did it feel qualifying? Did you know that it was going to be a wet race going into it?
Qualifying wasn't that great. I think maybe I had 3 or 4 tenths in me. If you compare to that lap, my best lap in qualifying. But I only started practicing yesterday and with setup and so on. So I guess it's okay.
Okay. So did you say you only started practicing yesterday?
Yeah.
Had to give it a fine, mate.
Well, it was a good performance, and sorry to interrupt you there.
No, it's alright. I was just about to say, you go for it now.
It was a good performance. Did you feel at any point that that you were pressured in that race, apart from the last lap, or did you feel confident throughout?
From lap 1 to lap 26, I was really comfortable. Just managing my pace. That's pretty much it.
I've just got a message from Ram saying he can't attend the interview because his microphone's not working. So
how unfortunate.
Another time. Yeah.
So,
Do you want to go for another question?
your pit stop. Did you always plan to go onto the dries, or did the wet tires last longer than you expected?
I don't know really because I haven't driven in the wet and haven't driven on the wet tires, intermediates. So it's just like trying to figure out what was best and see how it went during the race.
Okay. Anything else you want to ask him?
No, not much. I've got what's his Ram sent a sort of interview to Dave, who sent it to me. So I'll let you know what he said in a sec. Just so I want to go on to Curly then. So you got quite close towards the end. Did you think that if you had a lap or two, you may have got him there?
Probably. Yeah, one more lap I think would have done it. I took a bit of a gamble and went for a dry setup. It didn't dry up as quickly as I wanted, but yeah, I definitely felt like I had the pace at the end of the race there, and certainly had the straight line speed. So I think another lap or so I would have done it.
One more question was actually quite a big factor in the race. It looked like you had a few not incidents actually, but you had Kane let you through. Did you guys talk about that in the chat, or was that like a thing that just like happened because Kane let you through because you had more pace? Or
I mean, it wasn't planned like before the race, but pretty much the case was that when I was behind him at the start of the race, both kind of getting used to the conditions. We hadn't really done any wet practice, so I just felt a little bit more comfortable in the conditions than he did, so he let me go, and yeah, I managed to pull away a bit, so that worked quite well, but it wasn't something that we really planned before the race.
okay, fair enough.
So, same question from me, Curly. Did you always plan to go straight onto the dry tires afterwards?
So I made the first pit stop for Inters, and looking back, that was probably a mistake. I didn't know when it was going to stop raining, and with my tire wear, I figured I could get to about lap 19-20, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be dry by then. It turned out that it was, so probably a mistake to pit. But yeah, maybe could have pitted a little earlier as well. But yeah, and then just for that, for the second pit stop, I was letting Kane have the first stop because he was battling with Monty and Ram. So yeah, I waited until it was definitely slicks, and there was no sort of question about it, and then just came in and popped on the ultras.
Okay.
I've got Ram's third place interview here, so just very quickly, he said, okay, so it was my first race in this league and it was amazing. I'm so happy to be here and to finish on the podium. I had a bad setup due to the weather, but I'm very happy with the results, and congratulations to everyone. He actually only got third place because of what happened to Kane. Did Kane speak to you or anything about what happened to him on the last lap?
I don't think I can say this on the stream.
Will it be one to talk about after the stream?
Yeah, probably. All I'll say is that there were certain words said, and yeah, that was that.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
that
was
with someone else.
No, he binned it in the wall. But yeah, I mean, it was a real shame because he'd driven really well up until then. He did have a couple penalties, but you know, he would have had P4, which would have been 30 points overall for the team, which I think, you know, we would deserve
Would have
today.
sent you
But
top.
yeah, but I mean,
Unlucky.
just last lap out of I think it was turn 10, he just lost it. So yeah, he wasn't very happy at all with that.
Well, that's good highlighting, because I was going to ask if he'd crashed himself due to his penalties, or if he'd just lost it himself.
Right, so do you want me to go for that question of the day quickly?
Yes, I do have a couple of votes on here, but go on,
Okay.
launch your question of the day.
See, I'm not like DP, and I'm very dark. And the question of the day is, who was the driver that at this very track unfortunately killed a marshal through a crash that he had? Yeah. Would you guys want to have a go at that question?
Start with Mr. Hamilton.
I think it's Rubens Barrichello.
Okay, Curly.
Curly, do you want to go?
Uh,
It's a dark question. You don't.
Yeah,
that's
it's gonna be
The
a
exact
while ago,
tone I
that's gonna
took on
be-
the broadcast was.
I mean, this
okay.
this track started out in the sort of mid '90s, didn't it? But I don't think Marshall's.
This was in 2001, I believe.
I'll go for Ralph Schumacher.
Well, there's
Okay.
2 votes on the YouTube channel. One was for Jack Villeneuve, and one was for also Ralph Schumacher. What is it then? let's
Who was
trigger
the guy
everyone
who
by this.
said, whoever said Jack Villeneuve, well done. You remember the dark bit of history, and yeah, the answer is Jack Villeneuve. The crash was quite similar to Alonso's with who was it? Kevin Magnussen, I believe. It was quite similar to that.
Oh, what do you mean last year?
Yeah, it was quite similar.
Then it would have been
Yeah, he
Esteban
went into
Gutierrez.
the barrier. Yeah, you know, I get confused. But yeah, there you go.
Same team, wrong driver.
Yes, it was. Unfortunate.
I think it's time for us to sign off, though. Though, unfortunately, we do wish we could have had more racing. This was Front Row Racing's World Championships. Round 1 around Australia. Our winner here was Mr. Hamilton 44. Our second place man, Curly Whirly. And our third place was Ram in his first race. Good showing by the Force India driver. What's coming up on Front Row Racing? Well, tomorrow we have the World Series, where hopefully me and Millstar will not crash into each other. They wouldn't put it past him to crash into me.
Oh, of course.
If you want to have a go at us, you can. You want to have a go at us? You want to have a go with us? You can join us on Facebook. Just search up Front Row Racing and come and have a go if you think you're fast enough. Really. I've been Lord JB13. I will probably end up doing commentary again, probably next week or the week after. But yeah, good night everybody, and have some fun.